Hey guys, we're the Hard Time Strongman podcast, training up a better class of man. And today we're actually graced with Six's presence. He got all done with his little hurricane party and he thought he might stop by. So
yeah, house is still standing, a little bit of damage. I didn't blow away. Everybody survived.
Glad y'all are safe, buddy.
Yeah.
That's just
Working went south.
A whole mess, dude. Like I've seen so many videos on IG. It's just like, it's terrifying. Like,
oh yeah,
entire just cities washed away. Like it's just insane.
Yeah, people's entire lives just gone.
Well, that's what killed me. There was a video of literally, I think it was in, I don't know where it was, but they were like in mountains terrain, and it just came running over this hill, and the husband's out there in the yard, and he just said everything's gone. It's like, oh, dude, gut wrenching. Glad you're here. Glad you're safe.
Yeah,
and glad to continue on our Fieldcraft series with Entry 1.
Yay!
I'm so excited for this episode. We are kicking off one of, I don't even know how many series we have going now, but we want to talk about Entry for a long time, and I've been just trying to build my skill set and toolkit and everything else to where I can more comfortably talk about this, but might as well just say hell with it and get after it. Overt Entry, Covert Entry is a hell of a skill set, something you should obviously definitely have and learn and get good at. So I figure let's just get into it.
Yeah, might as well.
Reference for today, just for your own learning, we're going out. We will be, in this episode and future episodes, going off a few things. So, more into the picking side of things, I picked up a reference years ago, Practical Lockpicking, a Physical Penetration Tester's Training Guide. That has a ton of really great visuals on different locks, their mechanics, how they work, and how to defeat certain things. One of the really big guys in this sphere is Pat Watson with Uncensored Tactical. You can find him on IG, on YouTube. Recently, he has sunsetted his original podcast. He's going to pick up another one, he said, here soon, hopefully. But really great guy. If you haven't already, pick up Tactical Lockpicking Volume 1. That has so many great case studies and guidelines, tidbits of information, really cool stuff. Also use LockWiki for this episode, and also just for another wealth of knowledge, look up Lockpicking Lawyer and McNally on Instagram and YouTube. Those guys are great. But kicking off, I just wanted to touch base with not only this introductory episode, but once again going forward into all these future episodes for either Covert or Overt Entry. I'm kind of borrowing this concept from Pat Watson's book Tactical Lockpicking, with the idea of the moral/legal right to entry. So ensuring that you have a moral and legal right to entry is ensuring whether it's a door, a car, a safe, a lock, or a locker, it's ensuring you have the you're morally in the clear. So kind of keeps you above that level of scrutiny. I will say that what is moral is not always legal. What is legal is not always moral. So be an adult, do the right thing. Skills are tools, and skills are moral, or amoral, rather.
Amoral. I will say this: sometimes doing the right thing ain't doing the right thing.
It's literally what I just said.
Exactly. Except I said it better.
Yeah, sure. You can think that if you want to. That's fine. But yeah, that's the whole thing. I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad about talking about the skill set, teaching people how to do this. Right? For one, and as we talked about in the past, bad people don't listen to our podcast. It's too much work to do the right thing and to work on yourself than taking the easy way out. So there's that. But also, we're good men. We're strong men in hard times. And going forward, we're going to assume that you have a solid reason for doing whatever you're doing with the skill set. So there you have it.
Yeah.
Be morally and mentally right. All that garbage.
All right stuff.
Be an adult.
Yes. Big boy rules. Big boy rules.
Big boy rules today. All right.
Yes. Big boy rules. Basically with everything that we talk about that's spicy. Big boy rules. So we're going to get into destructive versus non-destructive. So good touch, bad touch. Non-destructive entry is entry that's made without damage or destruction to whatever it is, and allowing the future normal use of said lock, mechanism, object, or surrounding structure that's impeding the user's access. What we mean by this is you're manipulating the locking mechanism without the intended key, bypassing the locking mechanism, social engineering, etc., without the need to replace that lock.
Good.
Like somebody could come along and use that again.
Good touch, don't break it.
Good touch, don't break it. Bad touch, it's broken. Can we fix it? No, it's
it's gone.
Yeah. So your tools
I'm sorry, I was just going to say thermite, bad touch.
Thermite is a very bad touch.
Bad touch.
Tannerite, C4, very bad touch.
Touches.
Breaching charges, very, very bad touch. A hand grenade is very bad touch.
If you can bypass or defeat a lock, go through a door, relock, and no one knows you were there, good touch.
Good touch.
Entry, non-destructive. Yay.
Oh man. So some of the tools for your NDE, your non-destructive entry, you're looking at lockpicks, you're looking at hooks, you're looking at wedges,
and your eyeballs.
Yeah, your eyeballs.
Using social engineering, right? So most people, if they're going to have a key for something, it's going to be within walking distance of that lock because people are lazy. If you're looking at a pin pad and some numbers are worn down, it's a very great indicator of what you have to work with. The greatest tool that you have is your mind. So that especially goes for the skill set. And I just wanted to add story time. So back when we were in Afghanistan, I found great enjoyment in memorizing as many of the door combinations as I could. Whether that was to different barracks rooms, to different locked areas, OPs, whatever. Because all of the doors had the same locking mechanism, which was a 4-pin lock. And so I would just look over NCO's shoulder and I'd just memorize the code wherever he put in because no one cared. And
you knew my rooms combo because
I knew a lot that shouldn't have known.
You come walking in like, did somebody let you in? No, you do our door combo.
Oh, dude, Zord Z, I came in and he's like, "What the hell are you doing in here?" I had to talk to you. It's like, you shouldn't be in here. How do you know the code? And I just that was before I really grasped that I have a good grasp on numbers, on memorizing numbers. And I was not great. Someone really should have handled that, but they didn't. So
I tried. Alcohol didn't work.
Moving on to destructive entry. Bad touch. Don't do it again.
Bad touch. Or do.
It's a entry utilizing the damage or destruction of a lock mechanism, object, or surrounding structure that is impeding the user's access. The door is stopping me from getting in, and the door isn't there anymore. That is a destructive entry.
The door is embedded in the wall along with whoever's head was behind the door.
Have you seen the meme where it's like, me trying to, get this bolt off, and it's just a successfully bigger and bigger tools until it's just a freaking welder. And it's like, I wasn't asking.
Yeah.
It's like, it can't be stuck if it's liquid.
I was about to say that.
But tools, sledgehammers or hammers, chisels, saws, bolt cutters, explosives, exothermics, crowbars, shotguns, etc., fill in the blank. Obviously, this is for if you're not worried about a covert entry. If you just need to get in
By any means necessary.
This is for you. Yeah,
this is for me.
Timmy's in the well. There's a fire. Something. You have a good reason to.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say bolt cutters? I did say bolt cutters. Bolt cutters.
You did say bolt cutters. Yeah. You have a good memory for memorizing numbers, but a terrible memory for what you just said. Not even 15 seconds prior.
I can only spend my skill points on certain things.
That is fair.
I don't.
You're only level like 30.
I get to be a space cadet in some things. All right, leave me alone. That's why I tell my wife. She gets so mad.
Oh,
just like, hey, where'd you go? Shut up.
Yeah. Coming in out of orbit. Yeah. All right. Oh, your target of entry. These are going to be your blocks. Deep dive into this later. These could be doors, these could be gates, windows, vehicle doors, windows, trunks, quote, surrounding structures. These could be
anything,
really. Whatever stopping you.
Yeah, what you said. Anything that's stopping you from gaining access. That's it.
And if it's a person, then I mean, there's an app for that. It's called a 12-gauge slug. Anyway,
it starts with whatever number you want. 9, 45, 12. 556. C4.
50. 40 Mike. Anyway.
Anyhoozle.
Yeah,
so your target entry, and that's the whole thing. So with this skill set, so we're moving into target entry / assessment. So what your first look, what is your target entry? What are you trying to to gain access to? What tools do you have readily available? What's your purpose, situation, mission, whatever? Why are you trying to get in? What's your time frame and urgency? So all these questions are, rapid fire. What it's shaping the, your course of action here.
Ooh, I just thought of another good tool.
What?
A flipper.
Oh gosh, yeah. That'd be they're only like $175, I think.
It's not bad.
But what a tool.
Yeah. I didn't even think of that. I was thinking like mechanical tools. I didn't even think of electrical.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, think about like digital pin pads or like pin access. You have your own badge in. Oh, dude.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Oh my god. Flippers. God, I need to get one. I truly do. In this day and age, you need a flipper.
Thing I don't like about the skill set is like it's so tool heavy, but I'm just like, I want all the tools. That's the problem. Like it's just so much fun.
I mean, yeah, I think about it. Like with and this does fall under your first look for the entry, the target of entry is. Are you thinking? Is this a mechanical entry or is this electronic? Can you get in there by physical means or can you have something like a flipper? That'll get you in, and that's a form of non-destructive entry. That's a fantastic example of that, actually.
Absolutely. I mean, and how much time do I have available?
Right.
I mean, like realistically.
Right. And honestly, even like what reason? Like why are you going in here? Why do you need to get in here? Is there a purpose? Is it like an emergency situation? Is there, a mission of some kind?
Right.
Like these are all things that you need to identify before you like actually set off to get in there. Unless you're, McNally and you can just take that master lock and smack it with another master lock and you're in. That guy's ridiculous. I love it.
I love it so much. And like Lockley being Laura, I just love how he's just so clinical, and it's like he doesn't sound to be degrading, but it's just soul crushing. It's like, oh yeah, this was an interesting one. Was
defeated it in like 5 seconds.
And it goes without saying, as we said at the very, very, very beginning of the episode, do you have a good reason to be in there? But and then your hard look. So this is your more focused assessment. So are there other potential entry points? So I'm trying to get into the building. I have a locked door. Okay, is there a window that's cracked open? What's the roof look like? Are there other, easier points? Was someone lazy and brought the door open? Whatever.
Is it bad that my mind just went to Uvalde?
Nope, it's realistic.
It truly is. Hard time, strong men. Hot tip. Don't prop open doors to fucking schools. I don't care what freaking excuse you have. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Smart.
Not at all. Unless you're trying to get a bunch of kids and teachers killed. This podcast is sponsored by Blackbeard Firestarter. Blackbeard Firestarter has been our first choice in Firestarter since they introduced their Firestarter rope years ago.
Blackbeard offers their fire starters, their fire plugs, arc lighters, ferro rods, stormproof matches, everything you need to get a fire started.
Their products are made right here in the US, wind and waterproof, have an insane burn time. They're basically dummy proof.
And help you out, Blackbeard let us cherry pick from their store everything that we want, everything that we thought you needed to get a fire started, and we call it our Hard Time Strong Men Fire Kit. On top of that, they're also offering a 15% discount on anything in their store when you enter code STRONGMEN at checkout.
We can't recommend Blackbeard enough. They stand behind their products, and so do we.
Be sure to check them out at blackbeardfire.com and on Instagram at blackbeardfire. And as always, stay in the fight.
Stay in the fight.
What's the condition of your target of entry? So is the locker mechanism new, old, rusted, obstructed, whatever? Will more than one method of attack work? So don't get tunnel vision on, oh my gosh, I just bought these nice brand new shiny lockpicks. I gotta pick this lock. Okay, but could you as easily bypass this? Could you use a hook? Could you
use another lock?
You need to stop.
I love it though. Just
You're
watching him just like take a freaking
lock.
master lock and just smack it with a lock and it opens. Like what?
Okay, the montages are really, really satisfying.
It really is. Anyway, sorry.
They're fine. A little more nuance. Will you leave a mark by attempting entry? So will that matter? Right?
Yeah,
is what you're doing.
Yeah,
will this be under scrutiny?
Kind of a gray area. Yeah, it's kind of a big thing. Yeah, it's kind of a gray area between is this an NDE or is this destructive? Because you're not quite in a destructive because they could still use a lock, but at the same time, somebody's going to know.
Or will
that
they?
You're there.
That's what I'm saying. Will they? Because most people are very clueless and unobservant. So
that is true.
A situation where you can just pop in, pop out, and be done with it, or is someone going to notice? Oh, my lock's all scratched up. That's not normal. So. Just another consideration. And last thing I had, add on if you think of anything, but what was the position or orientation of the locker mechanism? In case you need to leave it how you found it.
Dude, that's a good one. That's a real good one. Yeah, because even I'm anal about that. Even when I was younger, I would leave things, especially in my room, in a certain position. Like the corner of something was a certain distance, certain like measurable, eyeballable distance from like the edge of something and another edge of something. Like I knew exactly how I left things, certain things that had things in them that I wanted to keep hidden. So I would know if someone was there. There was even times where I would say like in a door, I would leave like a little tiny piece of tape like stuck to both the door and the frame. So if somebody went in there, it would no longer be attached. Anymore. Or you could even do like a little piece of a little strand of like cotton or yarn or something and like stick it in the door frame. So if somebody opens the door, it falls. So if you come and you see it's not there anymore, you'll know somebody was there. It's a good,
such
a good idea.
Autist.
I'm still that way, dude. I do. Like I may not notice exactly if something has moved, but I notice if something's off.
Yeah. Like so and everybody has their patterns, right? And their routines, the ruts that they fall into. So like for me, like the orientation of things. So here's an example, not like, tactical or anything, but the way that I hang my clothes.
Yes.
On the hooks.
Same way.
Always oriented with the hook facing to the right. Whenever my wife hangs my clothes, the hook is facing to the left. And it drives the crazy out of me.
Interesting.
But I'm just like, oh, that's wrong. It's so wrong. So like if I'm looking at my clothes, so if I'm looking at a shirt the right way, then the hook's facing to the left for me. Because that's just how it's oriented. That's how I do it.
Yeah.
That's how I've always done it. So, applying that to what I'm talking about here with, entry one, if you, bypass a lock or, pick lock or whatever, and then you relock it because you know someone's going to come back to it, but you put it on the wrong way, then someone could open and be like, that's not how I left that. Or that was kind of weird.
Right. It's like putting the padlock on something and the master was on one side, but then you put it on backwards and the master's on the back side.
Right.
That's something that people are going to notice. So you have to have an eye for detail when it comes to things like that.
Right.
That's why I love that you brought that up. Like campfire rules. Leave it as you found it.
Mm-hmm. That's why I love this podcast and what we're doing, because so many things apply. Like it all flows together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And this one's really fun. The no look.
The no look.
Or your secondhand assessment / report. So this is you getting information secondhand. So say that you are the was it the POC, right? So say you're the entry guy in your friends group or family or whatever. Someone gets locked out of something, or they need help getting into a building or a locker or whatever, and they call you. So this is how you can get information without being there. This is how you can, be moving against the clock, getting them to check certain things or to try certain things before you even have to get hands on. It's how you get more information on the situation. So you're either getting report from someone who has seen or interacted with a locker obstruction that you're communicating with that person to try to help them through it.
I have so many problems with this form. So many.
Interpersonal communication is hard.
Well, it's trust but verify, right? Like, Absolutely. Is this information accurate? Like, do they have the same eye for detail that you do? Do they know what they're looking for when it comes to these things? Or do they not? Phones. It's
send me a picture.
Yeah.
Throw me on a video call.
Exactly. It's so hard. Well, even then it's like, okay, they send you a picture, but they're supposed to send you a picture. You know what you're looking for, but they send you a picture of like a padlock hanging on a door. There's always so much information you could glean from one view versus like, say, if they expose the combination or they expose the top or pinhole where you could actually bypass the locking mechanism versus They just show you like freaking padlock from 60 feet away. what the hell are you going to do with that?
Right. And that's why, we have this session. And so, first question I would ask. So, well, one of the first questions I ask, what is your target entry? Where are you trying to gain access to? Okay. Other things. So like, what's the level of urgency? What's the situation? All that stuff. But if it's a lock, what kind of lock is it? What does it look like? What does the keyhole look like? Is it new or old? Is it a padlock? Is it a lock on a door? Is it a deadbolt? Whatever. Just really flesh out what you're working with. Especially what does the keyhole look like? That can narrow down, that can narrow things a lot.
Oh God, yes. And like we were talking about earlier, especially with like electronic stuff, like is it a pin pad? How many digits does it have? Here's the big thing: is are any of those digits worn down to indicate multiple repeated uses?
Right.
I mean, even if it's like a like letters, like even if it's like a freaking keyboard, repeated usage is going to wear down what's there. And then it's only a process of elimination of, okay, how many digits are used? Are there any doubles? How long is the combination? There's only so many factors before you narrow this down and you're in.
Yeah. So that's another fun thing with like, with pin pads or like, I don't know the right terminology, but like the roller pads, padlocks.
Yeah.
So with those, people are super lazy. That's a huge takeaway from this episode. People are lazy. So if they're going to go, I bet you do it too. I do it too. People suck. But if you go to lock one of those, you just flick with your thumb. Once, maybe twice.
Mm-hmm.
I can almost guarantee it. Unless if you are intentionally thinking about it, you're just going to flick and it's going to lock for you. And you're going to call it good. So when you think about that, so a lot of the numbers are going to be, a lot of those digits are going to be making contact with your thumb when you do that. So they're going to be, the same distance, same number off. And like we talked about with, pins initially. So if it's a 4-digit pin, I'm betting that you're going to be starting with the digits 1, 9, or 2, 0. And depending on the lock and where that lock is, dude, and start with 196 and go from there. I bet you'll find it pretty quick. If you absolutely have to get in and you have to go digit by digit, you'll get there fast.
Yeah.
Hardly, so like people do not randomize those things. And hell, what do you say?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and hell, man, if you're spun up on if you're making this your life, like you can look up the make and model of a lock, and you can find the master, the factory lock. I bet they didn't change it. I bet they bought it and they threw it on.
Yep. I was gonna say, like, it harkens back to what we were talking about in pre-show, where used to play DayZ, and Jesus, along these lines, like I would pick numbers like that. I would start with birth dates. I would start with dates. I would start with, hell, even like 420 or 6969, like depending on the level of lock, I would just pick it and go from there. And I would go guaranteed within 15, 20 minutes. Yeah. Or 007. Yeah. 8008. Yeah. I guarantee within 15 to 20 minutes, I'm in your base. I'm in whatever you had locked away. I guarantee it. I'm in your walls. I'm in your head. Just like an earworm.
Yeah, you made a really good point about like 6969 or 8008 or whatever stupid combo.
People are lazy.
People are so lazy and they're so predictable. So that's the whole thing with the social engineering. It's huge one. But yeah, so like pin pads. So if it's a door, what kind of door is it? What's it made out of? Does it have any gaps around the frame, around the floor? Does it have a window? Where are the hinges situated? Once again, what kind of lock is on the door? We talked a lot in the pre-show on just different pieces of kit, hooks, or like the double bar hook or wedges, whatever, that you can, if you have the right tool for the job, talking about your second line or third line gear tucked away, then you can make entry so easy on yourself. And the big thing I would say, obviously interpersonal communication is huge, being able to adequately communicate with your person. But any information they can give you is a plus. Nothing's wasted. You may be able to coach your buddy on how to open lock or bypass over the phone. If not, and you have to make your way out there, you're already churning through situations and fixes before you even get there, and you're already making all those mental, doing that mental work.
Yeah, plan ahead. Like process of elimination, know what you have versus, or know what you're getting into versus what you're not. Like, even if you're not sure what you're about to get into, you can be sure of what you're not going to get into, and that helps narrow it down.
Yeah. Or if you get a good handle on the situation, you can make decisions ahead of time. If I'm out on ranch with a buddy, and he's like, hey, I'm trying to get through this gate, and it's like this industrial master lock, I'm like, I'm not going to spend an hour picking that. I'm bringing my bolt cutters or a sledgehammer. Like, I'm breaking it. Sorry.
C4. Yeah.
Like, I'll buy you a new one, or we'll find the key later. Like, it's not worth it to me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's all I had for Second Looks. Do you have anything else for Second Looks, or any big takeaways from the episode?
Oh man, like, this is such a nerdy thing. I love lockpicking. I never got a chance to get into it just because it's just like, it frustrated me. Because, like we mentioned, it's like when you're a kid, you have a lock and you just think like, oh yeah, this is secure. And now I'm like learning all these things and just sitting here going, yeah, no, this is not secure. None of this is secure. If it has a keyhole, it's not secure.
I watch any of these guys, dude. Uncensored Tactical, McNally, Lock Me. I'm like, nothing's secure. My whole life is a lie.
Yeah.
Like, it's useless.
Yeah.
But no, I am definitely healing my inner child by buying lockpicks and learning how to do this, because that's something I wanted to do since I was a freaking kid, dude. Playing Skyrim with all the lockpicks all day. Absolutely. It's like, oh, I want to do this so bad, and now I'm an adult. I'm like, I still want to do this so bad.
I know.
And here we are.
So easy. Just like watching how people do things, like, oh, this has got to be so easy. They did this so quick, and then you like really look into it, or even try it. You get a reality check. Like, this, a lot of this stuff's not easy.
Right. But I mean, so going back to the whole point of starting the series, like, this is a skill set that is absolutely essential, because yes, locks are made to keep honest people out, but if you need to get in, you need to get in. And I never learned how to do that isn't a good excuse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the whole world opens up. So,
hey man, like we said earlier in the episode, there is an app for any lock.
There's an app for that. Yeah.
Yes. It may not be non-destructive, but I'm gonna get in.
Ain't much, but it's honest work.
Yeah, it is. Well, it might not be.
No. Big boy rules. No, I am so excited for this series. I'm already working on the next couple show notes. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It'll be good.
Yeah. I feel like I have the multi-pass.
I thought you did. I thought you said you did.
I feel like I've got one somewhere.
Anywho's, look, guys, make sure to check out Lockpicking Lawyer McNally, definitely Pat Watson, Uncensored Tactical, a huge wealth of knowledge there. It's so much, guys. But make sure to also check us out on Patreon, on Discord, on Instagram. What, are we anywhere else? YouTube? If you're on, I mean, I guess, sure.
I think we still have a Substack, right?
No, that's down.
That was down. Okay.
It's been sunsetted.
I feel like we keep having subscribers to that.
I do. They'll forget about it eventually. Guys, check in. The Discord especially is, we have a lot of people on there. They talk about all sorts of stuff. And I'm sure after this episode, we'll get into a whole bunch of really niche conversations. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, we are continuing to try to build this community. Stick around on the Instagram, on Patreon. That is where we, publicly back up the podcast and send all of our images, all of our, our show notes, all the extra stuff for the podcast is on the Patreon, along with all of our exclusive content. So make sure to check that out. But guys, we're the Hard Time Strongman podcast with another Field Crab episode, Entry 1, cheering up a Bear Class Man. Stay in the fight.
Stay in the fight.